Welcome to BNEWS Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher along with BNEWS producer Sydney Bowles, BNEWS reporters John Vias, Tad Stefanak, and Robert Paris, Juliana McGrain with sports, Peter Brown with the weather, and Gretchen Carey with the community calendar. Thank you for joining us. The Burlington Select Board this week approved a 4.38% increase to the average residential tax bill, amounting to an increase of about $284 per year to the average home. That brings the total average tax bill to about $6,800. It was one of four viable options presented to the Select Board by Town Assessor Paul Tierney, and it was the option that covered the town's bills while raising residents' taxes the least. It was also the option that was gentlest on business, who shoulder more than 60% of Burlington's tax burden. Select Board Chair Morandi, who is also a business owner, commended the assessor's office for a job well done.
Now, as far as the tax rate goes, keeping it stable for the business and for the homeowners is really big, especially for the small businesses when they get a small building or something else in town and they're paying the substantial tax rate that we do pay for that. You understand it, but on the other side of it, being a resident in town, I understand that the amenities in this town are phenomenal. I don't think you can find too many amenities in another town very close by that has the same amenities that we have. So we do very, very well with our town, and I just want to commend everybody for doing that.
The increase comes in the wake of the town's decision to fund the Fox Hill and Police Station building projects to the tune of $64 million and $46 million respectively. The additional tax increase from those projects will likely kick in down the road. But for now, the Select Board, in somewhat of a surprise, also voted not to pursue debt exclusion votes for those projects. That's a funding mechanism that would have allowed the town more flexibility by shifting those projects' debt burdens outside of the general budget. Select Board member Mike Espeo said he wanted to hold off on debt exclusions until the town was ready for high school.
Trying to exclude this debt now in a kind of a backdoor, backwards, confusing manner will only confuse people, and I think it will muddy the waters for the real debt exclusion we need to pass, which hopefully is in April 26th for a new high school.
A Burlington resident is making the rounds hoping to get something going. John Hickey, a resident of Fox Hill neighborhood, is hoping the town will create a subcommittee to look into rules around what houses can look like in Burlington's neighborhoods. Hickey says he was inspired by a home going up in his neighborhood that changed the character of the community. Let's look.
And the house that went up really looks like an office condo building. And I know everybody has the right with private property to build what they want as set out by the bylaws, but there is such a thing as aesthetics and character in neighborhoods as well. So I'm coming before you, and I'm more than willing to help to, with your help, look into creating maybe some sort of a subcommittee to actually take a look at, the aesthetics and character of what we're doing in town.
John has been seeking support from both the Select Board and the Planning Board, and both boards have been supportive, but have warned him that the road ahead is likely to be a long one.
We can reach out to the Planning Board and ask them how they want to approach this and, start the discussion around what the charge and the objective of that subcommittee would entail.
Right.
Because we have to be careful, right? Because, like you said, we're encroaching upon private citizens' right to do what they want with their property, right? And I think that we have to be extremely careful, right, with the notion of, well, this particular community doesn't get to have these types of homes, right? Or we don't like your style.
Burlington has received 2 grants from the state's Executive Office of Economic Development. One grant for $1 million will go towards a feasibility study looking into pedestrian safety along Middlesex Turnpike. This particular promising for the future project, according to the Town Economic Development Office, the state is more likely to fund the project itself now that they've supported its feasibility study. The other grant for $25,000 will support the work of the Zoning Bylaw Review Committee's work to revise signage bylaws in the town center. The project to renovate or rebuild the Burlington High School is moving on apace, and at a community forum this week, the designers shared the options they are considering at this site. BNEWS reporter Sydney Bowles has more.
The design team and the school building committee answered audience questions and shared the latest developments on the plan for a new high school. Among the plans under consideration, adding a new academic wing to create space to knock down the worst parts of the current building, creating an entirely new school on top of Varsity Field, or moving to an entirely new site, an empty lab space not too far away off Cambridge Street. The committee plans to decide on a strategy by spring of 2025.
The renovation of this entire building, right, R1, will be the most expensive option to perform. And it will also, in my opinion, having done this at a separate school, cause the most amount of disruption to the children, the students, the parents, the teachers, the administrations, because effectively what you do is you take one section of the building and you renovate it, and you start hopscotching the kids around because you don't have swing space.
Much remains up for debate, including whether non-high school programming, like the Early Childhood Center, would be included in the final build. And the costs remain broad ballparks intended to estimate the differences between types of projects, but range between $150 million to well above $300 million. Catherine Bond, the chair of the high school building committee, says she's committed to community input.
This has been a long time coming. It's something that the community has been looking forward to hearing about, because we do need to find a way to bring our high school up to today's standards. We know that it's a big project. We know it's going to impact the community in terms of finances, et cetera. So trying to pull the community in, whether it's town meeting, again, people who were able to come tonight who may be abutters to the property, or anyone in the community. It's really important for us to get our ears out there, listening to what they have to say, what their concerns are, what their ideas are. I mean, seriously, like as I mentioned in the meeting tonight, when we went to the beer gardens and had that table set up, I mean, some of the ideas that were presented this evening were because people walked up and said, hey, have you thought of this?
You can watch future high school building committee meetings on BCAT, live on BCAT's government coverage Facebook page, or on our YouTube channel. And stay tuned for future community meetings as the project continues. For BNews Weekly, I'm Sydney Bowles.
Temple Shalom Emeth has been a fixture in Burlington's religious and cultural life for decades, and its leader, Susan Abramson, Rabbi Susan Abramson, recently celebrated her 40th anniversary as its rabbi. John Vias has the story.
From the minute I came here, I just felt like I was home.
The good Rabbi Susan Abramson has been a spiritual leader and a voice of guidance for not only the Jewish people of Burlington, but for people all around the world and here in town. She celebrates a milestone for 40 years of spreading global peace from the doors of Temple Shalom Emeth. The vibrant and always welcoming Jewish congregation in Burlington provides a rich spectrum of opportunities for members to express their Judaism through worship, education, music, community service, and social events. At Temple Shalom Emeth, there's something for all people of Jewish faith.
And when I was a senior at Brandeis, actually, I was in charge of the Jewish group on campus, and the Hillel rabbi said that there was a little tiny temple in Burlington, Massachusetts that didn't have a rabbi, and they were asking for somebody to come and lead services for the holy days that year. So I agreed to do that, and I found myself in the little octagonal building on our property when I was a senior at Brandeis leading high holy day services, and I really, really enjoyed doing that. So after I was in Philadelphia for 3 years, there was a notice in the job listings that the temple in Burlington, Massachusetts was looking for a rabbi, and I thought, oh, I remember them.
During the course of 4 decades, Rabbi Abramson has helped Burlington's Jewish community grow and has worked on a rich history of projects with her mission to spread peace around the world.
So when I was growing up in Newton, pretty much everybody was Jewish, and so I kind of grew up with this worldview that everybody's really Jewish. And so when I came out here, there were so few Jews, it just was so intriguing to me to try to help other people understand what Judaism and the Jewish people were all about. And I really, really cherished my relationship with the interfaith clergy. I had a lot of good friends there, and there was so much that we had in common, all serving the people of Burlington. So I think our mission is the same. It just takes different forms, but it's always been something that I've been very passionate about, our interfaith Thanksgiving services, our interfaith Holocaust memorial commemorations every year. So that's just been something that's been very, very important to me. And every time I teach somebody about Judaism or a group comes to the temple and they leave understanding what it's like to be a Jew a little more, I feel like I've done something really tangible to help bring people together in the world to be a better place.
Dedicated to the good of her people, Rabbi Abramson makes sure she's always available to lend a hand to those who need her.
So when I first came here, there were about 75 families, and when they first hired me, they wanted to hire me as a part-time rabbi. So I just told them that there's no such thing as a part-time rabbi, just a part-time salary, because rabbis are on call 24/7, and you really can't be a part-time rabbi if God forbid somebody dies or somebody needs you or something terrible happens. You really need to be on call all the time in order to be effective and for people to value what you're doing and for you to really be there for them.
We at BNews congratulate Rabbi Abramson on a wonderful 40 years at Temple Shalom Emeth. Here's to many more. This is John Vias for BNews.
And the springtime of peace will start.
Shawshene Valley Technical High School is honoring its long-serving superintendent, Charlie Lyons, who passed away in 2023. The technical school has created the Charles H. Lyons Award to recognize individuals for outstanding advocacy for vocational technical education in Massachusetts. At a meeting of the Mass Association of Vocational Administrators recently, current Superintendent Tony McIntosh congratulated the inaugural recipient of the award, Catherine Craven, Chair of the Massachusetts Board of Elementary and Secondary Education. With winter fast approaching, the Burlington Parks and Recreation Department has released its winter brochure full of countless ways to make the colder months merry. Robert Parris has the inside look.
Bring out your hat and gloves because winter will be here before you know it. The Burlington Parks and Recreation Department released their winter brochure, including popular signups like skiing, youth sports, and fitness programs.
So we have some great programs. We have traditional programs, skiing for elementary and middle school students at Neshoba and Wachusett. Those are filling up. There might be a couple spots left if you check. Youth basketball, there are some spots in there. You want to get registered for that before Thanksgiving. A returning program, fitness program that's really been popular. It's a 8-week class where you do a different dance, whether cultural or different style of dance each week. It keeps the class fresh. Participants really like it.
Of course, we can't forget the special events, the 5K turkey trot, and the holiday tree lighting.
So we have the turkey trot on Saturday the 23rd. It kicks off at 9 a.m. If you're looking for a little run the Saturday before Thanksgiving, come and see us at the high school. You can register online. We are doing our tree lighting, annual tree lighting, which takes place here on the Common. All the trees get lit that night, and then we have fireworks right at 5 o'clock, so we're excited about that.
People should enjoy the time with their family and friends.
There's so many opportunities for us to get together with our family and friends and really, talk about the last year, and look forward to a new year.
I'm Robert Parris for BNews Weekly.
Just when you think you have a handle on what's going on in Burlington, you find out about something that's been going on right under your nose for decades. The North Shore Rock and Mineral Club meets in Burlington monthly, and whether you're a seasoned paleontologist or a stone-cold beginner, this club has something for you. Sydney Bowles takes us there.
Rock and mineral enthusiasts from miles around gathered at the Burlington Senior Center recently to talk about all things crystals, gems, and stones.
You can see here we have a large group of people from this area now come together who love rocks, and we go digging for rocks, we trade rocks, we buy rocks. In fact, this club hosts the New England Gem and Mineral Show the first weekend in May, in which we'll have 4,000 to 5,000 people come, all who love rocks, to buy and to look at rocks.
The evening's special guest, Stephen LeBlanc, is an archaeologist and the former director of collections at the Peabody Museum of Archaeology and Ethnography at Harvard University's Peabody Museum.
After briefly reviewing the prehistory of the Southwest, I focused in on the minerals and rocks that they used and showed that sometimes it was the color of the stone that they were really selecting, and other times those particular stones like turquoise and some rarer stones like jet that they made most of their most beautiful and interesting jewelry and related ceremonial objects.
This is a club with a lot of history. It's been meeting since 1958.
My parents brought me to this club when it was at a different location. Conservatively speaking, probably around 60 years ago.
Tom Rich has been with the club pretty much since its inception. Now he runs the Pebble Pups Kids program.
I restore fossils, I've restored dinosaurs, and what I like to do is, I'm 80 years old and I'm still taking classes at Salem State University, and I like to learn, and I like to educate little kids and turn them on to fossils and minerals, and that's why I'm here.
I think my favorite rock is petrified wood.
I love petrified wood.
I have a few favorite minerals. I collect a mineral called chrysoberyl.
I have a favorite fossil, that's my specialty. I collect trilobites.
The North Shore Rock and Mineral Club meets the third Friday of the month at the Burlington Senior Center. For BNEWS Weekly, I'm Sydney Bowles.
Who knew? If you're looking for a new restaurant to check out, may I suggest adding Fiorella's to your list? Tad Stefanek has this look at a new Italian spot in the mall.
Hi everybody, Sonia Rollins for Back Talk. Our Chamber Spotlight today takes us to the Burlington Mall, where Burlington's latest and greatest restaurant has arrived. Fiorella's has been open for a few months, and we're excited to take you inside, show you not only the beautiful decor, but the great food they're serving. So I have to tell you, this is so exciting for those of us who've been in the Burlington food world for a long time, because we saw the build-out of Fiorella's, we heard the reputation it had, but talk a little bit about the history of the restaurant first.
So we have been a company since, for 24 years now.
Yes.
Ramon Carrion, the owner, opened his first location in Newton.
I love this restaurant, by the way, even in just its actual look. So this one looks different than the others. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Each one of our restaurants has its own personality. This location is a little bit more of an open space, large windows, very bright. We're really excited to be a part of this Burlington area. I feel like we bring something a little bit different. The renovation was
extensive.
Yes. It took a long time, but it came out beautiful.
And tell us what you're making for us today.
All right, so we have white wine, chicken stock, our sauteed chicken, and then a similar, like a velouté base that we use. We'll let that reduce.
Is there gluten-free pasta at Fiorella's?
Yeah, we offer a gluten-free tzatziki.
Great.
Really nice, super popular. Artichoke hearts, really tender. They cook down with the lemon juice, and then call them out of olives. And the chicken, very simple dish, but easily one of our top 3 sellers at all locations.
Well, as you're probably aware by now, that was not Tad Stefanek, but Sonia Rollins. Now let's turn to Juliana McGrain for a look at high school sports.
Hey everyone, I'm Juliana McGrain, and this is your weekly sports report. Red Devils football will be on the road for Thanksgiving this year in Bedford on November 28th. Be sure to check out the Thanksgiving Day Marathon featuring the Devils' victories from the season. The action starts at 9 a.m. on BCAT's educational channel. For more details, go to our website. A huge congratulations to the Lady Devils cheerleading team. They came in first place at the D4 North Regional Championship last week with a score of 87.5. They advance up to the state finals on November 24th. Updates next week. Senior Grace Seaman of the girls volleyball team competed in the All-State Showcase on November 18th at Westboro High. Complete results are available on our website. So for more Red Devil action, check out our sports section at bcattv.org/sports and follow us on X at BNewsSports. That's all for this week. I'm Juliana McGrain. Back to you guys in the studio.
Winter sports will be starting up pretty soon, and we'll have more on that, of course, every week going forward. And here's Peter Brown with a look at the weather, and stay tuned for your community update with Gretchen Carey.
Well, hello everyone, this is Peter Brown with the look at weather for the next 7 days. Here we are heading in towards the Thanksgiving week. I know it's hard to believe that we are that far into the year, getting into the holiday season, and starting out our period on Friday. We're going to be seeing something we haven't been seeing a lot of here in the Burlington area over the past 3 to 4 months. Chilly and rainy conditions. Yes, it looks like we're going to have a decent amount of rain in the Burlington area. Not enough to put a complete end to our drought, but going to bite into it a little bit. Remember, here in the Burlington area, we need nearly a foot of rain to catch up to our average annual rainfall, as we have been so dry over the past few months here in the Burlington area. As we get towards the end of the period, in towards next Thursday, into Thanksgiving, of course, you're going out there to see all of those early morning football games. It is going to be chilly, as it should be at this time of the year. Temperatures should be in the upper 40s. And actually, by the time we get to next Thursday, I think we're going to be struggling to get out of maybe even the upper 30s and low 40s, even with sunshine out there. So a real late fall feel to the day out there. And as we go ahead, let's take a look at what the Climate Prediction Center is calling for us in terms of temperature and precipitation over the next 7 to 10 days. And looking at our temperature map, they're calling for us to have above average temperatures. I'm not too really sure about that. Looks like it's going to be pretty chilly out there. Maybe Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday we may eke out some highs in the low to mid 50s, but really nothing warm out there, especially not like when we saw the 80s a couple of weeks ago to start out November. And looking at our precipitation chances, yes, this is something we have not seen much of in quite a long time here in the Burlington area. Chances for above average precipitation, looks like we are going to see that. Our chances of heavier rain seem to be lowering as we get closer and closer to that event this weekend, but some light to moderate rain will be much easier to soak into the reservoirs, the ground, and the streams in the Burlington area, so that is some good news. So as we go ahead, let's take a look at what those 7 days of weather coming up, and this, of course, will include your all-important, very busy travel week next week. Starting out again Friday and Saturday, if you're out there shopping, planning for Thanksgiving, you are going to need the umbrella and a heavy coat out there. It is going to be chilly, raw, very windy. If you're traveling out to the western part of the state, you could even see a little bit of light snow mixing in with the rain. We don't think that's going to be happening in the Burlington area. Just some beneficial rain right now. Temperatures, again, only in the low to mid 40s. Then on Sunday and Monday, as you go back to work, looks like the sun on Monday is going to come out. It's going to be a pretty nice day on Monday. Temperatures in the mid 50s. And then as we get into Tuesday, starting to get into the travel days, we're going to see that chance of showers coming back into the picture, cooling off again down to around 50. And then as we get into Wednesday and into Thanksgiving, the sun is going to come back out, but it is going to get cold out there with our highs struggling again to get out of the low to mid 40s. So everyone, get out there, enjoy the weather, have a great week, and have a happy Thanksgiving to you and your families.
I am thankful for my dog Scout because she is very loyal and protective.
I am thankful for watching the Celtics with my family because we all really care about basketball, and that makes us bond and get us closer together.
I'm thankful for my brother because he gives me company.
I'm thankful for scouting because I've learned many life lessons on my journey.
I'm thankful for my friends because I can talk to them when I'm stressed.
And in the whole town of Burlington, I'm really thankful for our great sports atmosphere. It's really cool. We all come together, no matter if they win or lose, we all just have a really nice time.
Hi, I'm Nathan, and I want to wish you a happy Thanksgiving.
My name is Carter, and I wish you a happy Thanksgiving.
My name is Cody, and I'd like to wish you a happy Thanksgiving.
Hey everyone, I'm Gretchen Carey, and this is your Community Calendar. On November 30th from 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m., the Made in Burlington store will be having an event called Santa's Workshop. Come and craft with Santa and enjoy caroling and delectable treats. For more information and to register, go to the following website. Also on November 30th from 2 to 3:30 p.m., A Whole Bunch of Flowers will be having a boxwood tree making class at the American Legion. For more information and to register, go to the following website. On December 1st at 3 3 p.m., the UCC will be having a holiday concert. Tickets are $15 in advance, and for seniors are $20 at the door. To reserve yours, call the church office at 781-272-4547. For more community calendar events, go to bcattv.org, burlingtonpubliclibrary.org, and burlingtonrecreation.org. I'm Gretchen Carey, and that was your Community Calendar.
And as we do each week, we're finishing up our program with a photo sent in by a member of the community. Mary Leach sent this one in. It's a look at how those drought conditions are impacting Mill Pond. Thank you, Mary. If you have a photo you'd like to see featured here, email it to us at bcat@bcattv.org with the subject line Photo of the Week. That's our program for this week. Thank you as always for tuning in. I and our news team here and everybody else at BCAT send our wishes for happy Thanksgiving to you and your families, and we'll see you back here next week if we're not too full from all the turkey. I'm Phil Gallagher. See you next time.